The wristwatch industry is a funny old thing. The sheer volume and variety of pieces available, both vintage and new, is mind boggling. But despite the outrageous levels of choice, we often find ourselves drawn to the same brands and same models. Of course, one may consider some watches to be objectively beautiful, but the herd mentality should also not be discounted. We are sociable creatures and desire the approval of our peers, even if we try to deny this reality. Nevertheless, a wristwatch is still one of the easiest ways for a gentleman to distinguish himself. So here are 6 underrated watch brands. Breguet was founded by Abraham Louis Breguet in 1775 in Paris, France. It remains one of the oldest surviving watchmakers in the world, though it is now owned by the Swatch Group. Breguet produced the first self-winding watch, the first wristwatch, and the first tourbillon movement. The distinctive Breguet hands and numerals first made an appearance around 1783. The modern watch might not exist without Breguet's innovations, and yet you are unlikely to find it on the wrist of your favourite social media influencer. Breguet is just not cool. Well, not unless your idea of cool is a little different to everyone else's. There can be little doubt that this is down to the style of watches Breguet produces, with most of its distinctive watches being dress watches or complicated mechanical watches, rather than sports and dive watches loved by the mainstream. Tudors and the Rolexes and the Seikos of the world get all the glory, but what Breguet does, it does really well. In a world of Rolex rip-offs and homages, Rado is one of the few brands that really just does its own thing. The company that eventually became Rado was founded in 1917 in Legno, Switzerland, but it wasn't until the 1950s that the Rado name was first introduced. A string of innovative watches followed, with the Golden Horse in 57 and the Diastar and Captain Cook in 62, establishing the brand as a maker of premium Swiss watches with a touch of quirkiness. By the 1970s, Rado had fully embraced the weird and wonderful and started producing futuristic-looking watches inspired by noteworthy technological achievements of the time. Rado is mostly known nowadays for its use of proprietary ceramics and other unusual materials. The original Rado Diastar was made from tungsten carbide, meaning that it is extremely hard wearing and scratch resistant. The decades-old watch can look almost new for this reason, which is just incredible. The stranger and wackier Rados may not be everyone's cup of tea, but they are certainly unique, which is always something to be commended. And if you don't want the weird and wonderful, modern versions of the Golden Horse and Captain Cook are excellent everyday watches that won't look out of place on any wrist. When you think of German watches, you probably think of expensive watchmakers like A. Lange and Sonne or IWC, or perhaps value propositions like Nomos Glasuto. Not Zeppelin. The Zeppelin brand was first introduced in 2002. Named after the famous airships of the 20th century, it offers the classic German watchmaking aesthetic, only at a more affordable price point. As the name suggests, its lineup focuses on pilots' watches and chronographs, with extensive use of Breguet numerals and busy dials. There is little modernity in the Zeppelin catalogue. Instead, the emphasis is on classic design cues from the golden age of flight. Notably, Zeppelin also offers ladies' watches in the same styles, rather than just slapping on some diamonds and a light coloured dial and calling it a ladies' watch like so many other brands do. Yes, apparently women like watches too. Think of a watch brand from South America. It's harder than it seems, isn't it? Cuervo y Sobrinos was founded in 1882 in Havana, Cuba, by Spanish immigrant Ramon Fernandez Cuervo. Havana is known for its stunning neoclassical and Baroque architecture and was a home for American novelist Ernest Hemingway from the 1930s until 1960, when communist leader Fidel Castro decided to nationalise all US-owned property. Its watches are now Swiss-made, but retain their Latin heritage. Think classic dress watch, but with a twist. I love the intricate cases and bold lugs. You don't really see many watches with fancy cases and lug designs these days. It won't come as a surprise to learn that one of the brand's models bears the name of the aforementioned famous author. The watches even come packaged in cigar humidors, which is gimmicky but really cool nevertheless. The only issue I have with the brand is sizing. The watches are quite large considering the vintage aesthetic, but if you have a larger wrist and you want something a bit more quirky, you should definitely check out this brand. Tag Heuer is one of those brands that enthusiasts love to hate, perhaps only coming second to fellow Swiss brand Hublot in the hatred stakes. But why? Heuer was founded in 1860 by Eduard Heuer in Saint-Imier, Switzerland. It was acquired by the Tag Group in 1985, which was subsequently acquired by luxury goods conglomerate LVMH in 1999. The vitriol for the brand surely comes as part of the corporatisation of the watch industry. A large number of historic brands have been scooped up by multinational parent companies, but Tag Heuer is easily the most blatant example, with the change in branding from Heuer to Tag Heuer being synonymous with the watch industry's takeover by the suits and the moneymen. That may be, but the truth is that the brand still produces a number of attractive models like the Aqua Racer, Carrera and Monaco, amongst others. A major criticism is pricing and value retention, but the same critique can be levelled at the vast majority of watch brands which seem to have enthusiasts by the shorts and curlies right about now. When it comes to affordable Japanese watch brands, Seiko gets all the plaudits. But Seiko has started to lose its lustre as questionable quality control, poor movement accuracy, and rising prices have started taking a toll on the brand's reputation. Into the breach steps fellow Japanese brand Citizen. The company is well respected and probably best known for its Eco Drive watches, an excellent line of reliable solar-powered quartz watches, but has also pushed the envelope with atomic watches and high-accuracy quartz watches. Citizen also owns a number of other watch brands, notably Alpina, Oliver, Frederique Constant, and more. Citizen is one of those brands that has something for everyone, from the everyday watches of its Eco Drive line to the ProMaster divers and the mind-blowing Campanola series. Yet while Seiko is often put on an affordable watch pedestal, Citizen is often an afterthought. I think maybe we have it the wrong way around. So there we have it. Don't agree with my choices? Let me know what you would pick instead. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.